Hey, welcome to Conservative Crossroads. I am Mandy. Um, I know I'm late to the game, but we're going to go over the smackdown that President Trump gave President Zelenskyy in the Oval Office last week. This was so disrespectful, and we're going to go over the not only disrespect that he had with his clothing, that he had with his attitude, his demeanor, but also the two that I identified just myself threats that he gave to not only JD Vance, President Trump, but also the American people. Just disrespectful, straight up disrespectful. I will be pausing it as we go along because I want to point out just the way he acted, how it was just horrendous.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Stormer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on its behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we
They're
thought
arresting
they
people
took
for
it
me.
very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. And we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly.
How awesome has Marco Rubio turned out to be? Like, I really had my doubts about Marco, but wow, how awesome has he turned out to be?
Impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of the British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made in Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that unites us with Europe as much as anything else is these shared values, and one of them being free speech.
Right.
So Americans are threatened by it. We're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the president's leadership, we're going to.
So already he's rolling his eyes. He's got his hands crossed. He's sitting there. Look at his face.
Find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much.
I mean, just look at his facial expressions and his demeanor.
By far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is that on the table at all?
No,
Mr. President,
we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you.
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss?
That's inappropriate.
How did it go?
Are you serious with that?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines, and in areas that Russia.
A very good question. Thank you so
Will you
much.
direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interest? Would that be Ukrainian?
They'll be
forces,
protected. The
European
agreement will protect them.
forces, US
The agreement,
forces?
yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
What if Russia
He's
tries to
going,
invade, or there's Russian in those spots?
I just told you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder
You know,
why-
they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Right. Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive.
Trump's
Let's go.
just a thug. He speaks his mind. Trump is so thug. He speaks his mind. That's one thing I love about him. You know, people forget that Trump is a Brooklyn boy. He grew up in the Bronx area, if I'm not mistaken.
I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies,
What can we say?
great muscle cars, but also as a force for good.
And roll his eyes.
And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United
Makes
States
sense.
of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And
He turned around and looked at Trump like, how about not saying that, okay? I don't want him to bomb us. Thank you. Sorry, but that was funny.
understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So
We
it's not a
figured
question
that.
of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be
So I
so
hear. I can't
tough.
wait to see it.
But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question. Yeah, please.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more.
So watch Zelensky. Watch Zelensky.
More than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure. I bet this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took.
Trump did.
He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 is
Well, 2014.
Yeah. So
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly
but
right.
yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we
Look at
had
his demeanor.
conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Well, first of all, you killed all the prisoners that you had at one point. And you both broke ceasefire deals. So what about that? Now I am not taking up for Putin. He's a tyrant and a jerk. And but so is Zelensky. I mean, let's just be for real here.
Exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about?
Oh, first of all, his name is not JD. His name is Mr. Vice President. You are in the highest office in the world. You're not wearing a suit. You're calling him JD. You need to come with some respect here because you're not acting very thankful. I'm just saying.
what do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful.
Notice how JD said, Mr. President, Mr. President, with respect, Mr. President, with respect. He didn't say, look, jerk, which he probably wanted to do, and he probably would have done had all the press not been there. And still look at Zelensky's posture.
In the destruction of your country.
yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You
Right.
should be thanking the president for
Have you
trying to
ever
bring
been-
an end to this
have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
The videos are everywhere. The videos are everywhere. This is the age of the internet, Zelensky. Have you ever been there that you know what kind of problems we have? Go to YouTube, which you have a channel. Everybody knows it. Everybody's seen it. You go on Facebook Live every day and update people. I mean, nobody's stupid here, Zelensky. I'm not calling you Mr. President. But that you recruit people by literally having them drug away from their families, thrown into vans, and then you stick a gun in their hands. So that's how you recruit people. That's what kind of problems you have. That's what kind of recruitment, manpower problems you have. That's what JD's saying. He just didn't want to say that in front of the press, but guess what? I will. I'm not the vice president. I'll say it.
Have been to
Come once.
I've actually watched and
Come
seen
once.
the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President.
Go,
Do
JD.
you disagree that
Go,
you've
JD.
had problems
What?
bringing people into your
No, do
military?
we have
And
problems?
do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of
will
the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your
A
country?
lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future.
Excuse me. Okay, that was the first threat, apparently. Everybody said there's going to be threats. So that was you will feel it in the future? You're here asking us for help. You're running from Vladimir. You're going to threaten us? We'll feel it in the future, huh?
Nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position to
this question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
he's
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to
Let
dictate
him Trump.
what we're going to feel.
Go
We're going to
president.
feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel
I'm-
very
Oh,
good.
we're going to feel influence. Listen, you need to come correct. Because my president stands on business, sir. He stands on business, sir. This is not Biden. He's not going to hand you money and go take a nap, sir.
Good and
Telling
very
you, You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right
From
about
the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now.
You don't. You
With
sure
us,
don't.
you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What
III.
do you think
Absolutely.
You're
about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this
Yes.
country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
I'm wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
No,
of-
no, he hasn't. He said, I am thankful. Really, you haven't said thank you. You need to be all but groveling. And if y'all want to come at me in the comment section, come on. But we have given him billions. I don't even know the number. Something like $300 billion. And you're here asking for more? Thank you, Mr. President, for all that you've done. Thank you, American people, for all that you've done. Thank you for what you're going to do in the future. I appreciate you. Thank you, American people. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be coming correct.
Times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today-
meeting,
Do it
you said
again.
thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to
I don't
Pennsylvania
hear
and
it.
campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
What-
the United States
what
of
are you
America
What are you talking?
and the president.
What are you
who's trying
speaking about? Oh, okay. You know what he's talking about. When you went and signed missiles.
to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can
not speaking-
Excuse me again? If you will speak very loudly.
Loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country is
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
No,
You have a
you're not.
damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said,
Oh,
thank you
we're
in
all
this cabinet,
alone.
and
You haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
He
Bless
cabinet.
gave you
us.
through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president $350 billion.
You
He gave
voted for
you
your
$350 billion.
military equipment.
You
And you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
350
If
billion.
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over.
We invited you to speak and answer questions of why you needed money, why we were doing a mineral deal with you. Do you really think you're going to give us $350 billion plus whatever we're giving you now worth of minerals? Because we're not. We're trying to do you a favor here, and you're not being thankful. Sorry.
In 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days.
Okay, let me go back and see.
Didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment.
You invited
If
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from
Look
Putin.
how
In 3 days.
disrespectful
This is
he is.
something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that
thank
there-
you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements.
Say it now.
And let's go litigate those disagreements
I-
rather than trying to fight it out in the American.
Do you guys have brothers or sisters? Saying, well, I said thank you is not the same as saying it. Say it now. Say it right now. Say thank you right now. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's not saying thank you. That's saying I did say it.
American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's
It
going
is.
on here. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are
I
dying.
can tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers. Listen,
Don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a
Don't
damn
tell him
good
what
thing.
to do
And
in
then
his
Then you
office.
tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire.
Oh, he don't
I
want a
wanna go,
ceasefire.
and I
That's
want
good to
this.
know.
Look,
He doesn't want a ceasefire. That's nice to know. Then we don't want to help you. We don't want to give you money. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Can y'all escort him out, please?
if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your
Yeah.
men stop
Of course,
getting killed.
of course, we want to stop the war,
But
but
you're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a
but I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That
It
wasn't
doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what.
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
nation- it
That was
wasn't
with a
you.
guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with,
President, do you think he voted for him? It doesn't matter. He's not the president anymore. This man is the president. The man you're speaking to, the man that you're being disrespectful to is the president. Things are going to change. Do you not understand that, Zelensky? Things are going to change now. Things are going to be different. See, you're not on the line fighting, so you don't care. We care more than you do, and that's sad. We care more about your men and women than you do, and that's pathetic. This president, who is a wonderful man, cares more about your men dying than you do. Maybe you should think and pray on that.
Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
Going to be a tough deal to make.
Now let's check out what he did in October. This is going to be short, I promise. So in October, this is what he was doing. I'm pretty sure this is the right video.
Наших перемовин можна тільки шкодувати.
What
Але
happened at the
треба
White House?
знаходити силу, йти далі, поважати.
Let's move forward. Let me see if this is the right video. Oh, no, it's not. Anyway, in October, he went with the Kamala campaign and signed missiles. Yeah, you can Google it. I tried to find it on YouTube, but it looks like it's been jerked down. Literally signed it like an autograph that they were going to be firing into Ukraine. So that doesn't seem like you want to ceasefire to me, Zelenskyy. Thank you guys for watching. More content coming. Please like, share, subscribe. Have a good one.